In the next few days, we'll post all the details at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. 3 new contests. $10,000 for the best protest video. And it can be whatever you want. I think that the topless thing, bare minimum, because the public doesn't fully understand you are naked being recorded. I think it's going to devastate them, use their own tools against them. Because that's an act that you willfully do instead of them forcing you. You are taking that like judo and using it against them. $5,000 for the best poster against airport scanning, and whoever puts up the most and does the best job. Okay? You will win $5,000. And then what was the other one I came up with? It was another $5,000 for something? I'll have to go back and listen. I was spontaneously thinking of that on air. I said $5,000 for something else. There was another form of protest that I said was another $5,000. I'm going to have to go listen to that. Did we write notes on that? My third? No. There's 3 contests. $10,000 for the protest, best video, preferably topless. Oh, $5,000 for the best political stunt. That's right. Good job, dude. $5,000 for the best political stunt. Legal banner hangs. Of course, they'll selectively enforce that. Events, stuff on TV, whatever you can do. Best stunt that you videotape and post to YouTube. Best legal stunt. I mean, that could be in your county where it's legal, putting on a $5,000 free fireworks contest and getting people there and handing out to 5,000 people body scanners and telling them, let's go protest next week. I don't know what the stunts are. I mean, let's see what you come up with. That's $20,000 in prize money. How do I pay for that? You, the listeners, purchase the books and videos from Infowars.com, and we slashed all the prices because of the economy. My mission is to get the materials out. When you get Fall of the Republic for $19.95, my latest and most powerful film, it's got Alan Watt in it, Max Kaiser, it's got Webster Tarpley, it's got Economist in there, of course, George Humphrey, it's got Gerald Celente, the list just goes on and on. Myself in the film, it documents their whole agenda. And we're having victories against them. They're not invincible because we know their game plan. Get a free T-shirt of your choice or get a free video. We have a bunch of special combo deals right now at Infowars.com. And when you purchase books and videos, you support what we're doing. We're not funded by George Soros. We're not funded by the government like all these globalists, right-wing, left-wing groups. We are patriots standing up, and the globalists hate the example we've made of leadership and strength and honor. They don't want you to know that you have power. They don't want you to know you can stand up. They want to make you hopeless. But we're standing up and showing people the power of the people. Look what happened in Copenhagen. That was annihilated. We'll get Alan Watt's take on that. Infowars.com to take advantage of the deals, the free videos and T-shirts, or 888-253-3139. You can also write to me at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. That's P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas 78760. And 5+ months free right now at PrisonPlanet.tv until next Friday. And then that deal is gone until next year. The New Year's special, PrisonPlanet.tv. Okay, Alan, I'm going to try to shut up now. I'm just so wound up about what's happening because I have never let my family, my children have never flown because I won't have them strip searched or beat up, or they're always killing people in the TSA. And I can't watch them humiliated, taking their shoes off and being indoctrinated to be slaves for the next phase of being naked body scanned. And they use the instrumentality of a machine like that makes it okay. Be like instead of a cop shooting you in the head, he had a robot shooting you in the head, so it's okay. It's men looking at a screen of your naked body and saving it. It's even worse than a strip search. It'd be like if they led you in and stripped you and videotaped it and laughed at you. How do we beat this? How do we resist it? How do we not just contribute to the Stockholm syndrome of covering all of this, and then people just get hopeless? How do we fight back? How do we defeat these people? Then I want to get into how worldwide, from Germany to New York State, they're arresting homeschooling parents for no reason in big public raids, trumping up fake charges. I'm going to give the number out to that county coming up, folks, for people to call later. Alan, I mean, they are moving on us on every front. Copenhagen was mainly a defeat, but Gordon Brown said, I don't care if you didn't sign on. We're still going to implement it. Alan Watt.
Yes. Again, people have to realize that you're not a nobody. No one is a nobody. And that's been the technique that's been used for so long, is to make us all think we're nobodies, and that special people that come out of special wombs are up there to guide you and manage your lives for you. We have been taught since the 60s onwards to be children, perpetual children. Don't get involved in politics, ignore it, just have a good time and play. And now it's all coming home, because you have people now who are at that stage of mentality but have never matured. A lot of people out there have never matured. They're living now as they did when they were 18 years of age, even if they're 40. So we're aiming at the people who can still think, who still have a sense of self-respect and know how to give it back to people who have lost it along the way, their own self-respect. Government exists by the will of the people. Government is only an idea. That's all it is. And it only gets away with it. It's like money. If you have faith that that money works and someone will accept it, then things will work. If you have faith in the government, it will work. But if you give complete faith to government, it will work in its own way and not for your benefit. However, it still only exists because you allow it to exist. And that's got to get pushed home to these boys at the top. They know this too. They're preparing for all kinds of possible scenarios. They've thought through the whole next 50 years agenda, and they're preparing for all possible outcomes. But what they don't want is a passive yet subtly aggressive push and mass demonstrations for people to take back their rights and to put the government back in its place. And every government in the world has got to start putting down on its books the recall of people who do not fulfill their promises in elections. When they go off on some strange tangent, as soon as they're in office, they should be out the door immediately.
Instead of, in England, the left and right, in the U.S., the left and right, most people are still caught up. They hate the party that's in power. They vote for the party out of power. Then they hate that party. They vote for the next party. It's all staged. We have to have a paradigm shift and stop looking at the low-level puppets and see the real architecture of enslavement.
Yes, and we've got to get the big foundations and the CFR and the Royal Institute of International Affairs totally out of politics. In fact, they should be outlawed, to be honest with you, because they've been behind the last 100 years of guiding this whole world and every country in it into this mandated global society of a socialist-type formula with its eugenics agenda, with its takedown of populations to a manageable level, as they call it. These guys have no place in politics. We don't vote them in, and yet here they are with all their members inside the political bureaus and establishments. They've got to be outlawed completely.
And they are parasites, and they love the fact that they're in the process of disarming us, as is happening in Canada right now. Alan, you talk a lot about how they, and this is in their own documents, again, Charlotte Iserbyt's book's full of the documents, about how they're turning man against woman, woman against man, black against white, Muslim against Jew, Catholic against Protestant, Northerner against Southerner, always balkanizing everyone. Here's an article, and give me a document cam shot for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. France to criminalize shouting at your wife. Married couples could be arrested and charged for insulting each other under a new law in France banning psychological violence. And in the U.S., they're starting to take people's kids if they're seen yelling at them, even if it isn't against the law. And then it says right here that it's going to be implemented with a ticket the first time and then jail time and then huge fines. And it says that they're encouraging men and women to tattle on each other. And women are being taught, your husband's arguing with you, call the police. And so, again, they are literally moving forward with this agenda. I wanted to read one part. Police are being urged to issue a caution in the first instance of a reported crime of raising their voice, but repeated offenses could face a fine or electronic tagging or jail. See, all these petty things that aren't even crimes, everybody's got to be tagged.
Yeah, well, I tell you, people have to stop being politically correct. This is all training people to be politically correct, and they keep updating it off because they know where they're going with it all, into a robotic society. But it's also to make sure that you cannot live outside the government control. In other words, if you're going to have an argument, you must have a professional counselor there to have it. Otherwise,
well, now they're saying out of 60 million or 50 million French, whatever it is, pull up the population number of France, They're saying 157 French men and women killed each other in 2008, and we can't allow that. Like one underwear bomber, all our rights leave, they naked scan us. And now we may have to ban marriage and make everybody live in dormitories because every once in a while people kill each other. And oh my gosh, sometimes parents abuse babies. So 20,000 homes in England, now at birth, cameras go in your home until the kids leave when they're 18, and the government watches you.
That's right.